I probably should prepare for this a little bit better. Uh, Usually I make my longer videos on my computer, but I forgot to charge my computer. So I ain't got time for that thing to charge, so I'm just gonna do it right off the phone in a quiet area. Now, there was a couple things I wanted to talk about that was on my mind, and I didn't want to make separate videos on it. So I decided to make a longer video. So I guess anybody who likes to listen to longer videos, sit back and enjoy. I always wanted to make a podcast too. Just didn't have the time for it. But anyways, shout out to Ticket TV. Cause I listened to this video, only half of it. I didn't know he was gonna go for a whole hour and 30 minutes. But I listened to the initial story about LeBron James. Once again, as we all know, one of the biggest news in the NBA and LeBron James is the whole Knicks antics this past weekend. And now it has been said, or rumored to be said, by former NBA players that LeBron is trying to work some way to get his son, Bronny James, next year's draft to be a first round draft pick, right? And go to the Knicks. That is the supposed rumor. And of course, LeBron James would be on the Knicks too. I think I didn't listen to too much what Cameron and May said, but they said something goofy that I disagree with. They said that if LeBron James was to go to the Knicks next year or so and win a championship, that will make him the GOAT. No, that'll make him a team hopper. If I was the Knicks, I would not do this at all. If I was the Knicks, I would look at what's been going on with the Lakers and declined. Because right now, the Knicks have a serious core right now that's actually working for them. I think the Knicks are either third or fourth, no, not third or fourth, fourth and fifth in the East right now. And they have been balling. They ain't been balling lately. The trade they made for OJ Anunoby, I kind of question it because I thought they had some working. They finally got RJ Barrett working, but I guess it didn't work out. But they would get, and then it seemed like a better move because now they have got better defensively. Jalen Bronson has been balling. Julius Randle, he'll probably be back. So I think he's an All Star this year. So somebody might take his place, but I think he hurt his shoulder in a game against was it like Miami a couple of weeks ago. So they've been balling. So why in the world, depending on how the season ends for them, most likely they will be in the playoffs. Just a matter of they finish in the conference finals, semifinals, or even first round. Why in the world would they need LeBron James? Mm, 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 mm. I don't understand it. And Austin Rivers said something very interesting because you all know Austin Rivers, the son of Doc Rivers, said when he was uh, drafted into the league, I think they moved him from like New Orleans or something like that. From I forgot what happened, how that went down. They moved him from like New Orleans or something like that to the Clippers where Doc Rivers was coaching, and people thought nepotism with it. And Austin Rivers feels that LeBron trying to get his son on the same team as him, being on the Knicks and all that, will actually be detrimental to Bronny's growth in the NBA. I personally don't think he's that good enough for the NBA. I think he's probably one of those people, one of those kids that probably had to spend some time in college. Uh, I don't think he's going to be anywhere. Yes, I have to admit, I don't think he's being anywhere close to his dad. And I think the second son, Bryce, is just a little bit better than Bronny. He might be going places, but yeah, the kid, in order to grow, you gotta do stuff yourself. You can't have your parents doing everything for you. In order for a kid to grow into a man, every once in a while, when the kid gets a little mixed up with stuff, then fine. But I was so glad to finally get away I wouldn't say get away, to be away from my parents, and not even just be away from the parents, just be around people I know, friends and all that, to be finally on my own. I feel like that was probably one of the best moves I did because it helped me grow and be more independent and responsible being on your own. Because now that you're on your own, the game has changed. Nobody's gonna be there to take care of you all the time. And I think in this case, I think LeBron probably needs to be a little bit more hands off. I understand that's his son and everything, but he needs to be a little bit more hands off with Bronny. And I also think there's some narcissistic tones with LeBron too, all about his legacy. So I just don't think this is the right move for that. And I hope the Knicks don't sign on for this craziness. So those are my thoughts on that situation. Now, there's another situation I want to talk about regarding the All Star game. Anybody who's been subscribed for over a year on there, I did live stream the All Star game last year. I don't know if I'm gonna do that this year. I might. I don't know. I haven't live streamed in a minute because last year that All Star game was boring, but the conversation in the chat was quite entertaining. It was more entertaining than the All Star game itself. But this year's All Star game, it's already been set. The roster's been set for the starters and reserves. But I constantly keep hearing about why Trae Young was not picked for an All Star spot. Now, in the East, I think the two guards are, if I'm correct, Dame Lillard, whose team is currently in second. Who's the other All Star starter at the guard position? So I forgot who it was. Is it Tatum? Let's see here. Hold on right quick just to make sure. Let's see here. Let's see the stars real quick for the East. All-Star jerseys, All-Star jerseys get boring and boring every year. You know what I want to see when it comes to the All-Star game again? I like it better. Call me weird. I like it better when it was just when sometimes I think it was like the early 2000s where the players just came with their own jerseys from their teams, but had the All-Star patch on there. I like that a little bit better. All-Star guards this year is Tyrese Halliburton, who has been balling. Indiana has a winning record. Dame Lillard has a winning record with the Bucks. So, and it was also voted in. So there was no way in the world that Trae Young was going to get over those two. For the reserves, for the guards, Scotty Barnes is going to the All-Star game as an injury replacement. So the guards, Jaylen Brown, Boston Celtics is the number one seed. Jalen Bronson has taken the Knicks to new heights, has brought new life into the Knicks since he came over from Dallas 2 seasons ago. He has been balling. He's the reason why the Knicks are successful. Of course, he's going to be in the All-Star game. Tyrese Maxey has been balling. He's going to be balling even more. That Embiid is most likely out for the rest of the season. And wow. This just came in. Donovan Mitchell's the other guard. They've been balling. So this just happened 26 minutes ago. Wow. Trae Young will be an All-Star now. My point is going to be moot now. But even before that, because he's going to probably be an injury replacement for, So 2 people are injured, right? So the 2 people that are injured, Joel Embiid and Julius Randle. So yeah, he got his wish. Let me see right here. So according to the news, Toronto Raptors forward guard Scotty Barnes and Atlanta Hawks guard Trae Young have been named by NBA Commissioner Adam Silver as injury replacements on the Eastern Conference team for the 2024 NBA All-Star Game. They will replace Joel Embiid and Julius Randle. The game we played on February 18th on Sunday. Yada, yada, yada. At Gainbridge Fieldhouse, home of the Indiana Pacers. Move on. Young has earned his third NBA All-Star selection in 6 NBA seasons, all spent with the Hawks. He is averaging 27.3 points and a career high of 10.9 assists and 1.4 steals in 36 minutes and 45 games. Young, the reigning NBA Eastern Conference Player of the Week, ranks 8th in the NBA in points, 2nd in assists, 7th in both steals and minutes per game. He is 4th in three-pointers made, 154 this season. The 6'1" Young has recorded NBA high 490 total assists, a category he's also led in previous 2 seasons. So he got his wish. So we don't have to hear all this crying anymore about it. But before he was named All-Star, there was reasons why he probably wasn't named All-Star. He was not going to get in over, before the injuries happened, he wasn't going to get in over Donovan Mitchell, Jaylen Brown, Bronson, Halliburton, or Damian Lillard. They all winning teams. The Atlanta Hawks are not doing well so far. The Atlanta Hawks just had 73 points poured on them by Luka Doncic. Trae Young, yeah, he gets steals, but as a one-on-one defender, people are going by him every day. Yes, he averages a lot of points, but he's also a shot jacker. So yeah, those are the things that went against him. You can't be losing like that. You really can't. And some people even mentioned Steph Curry being in there because their team was not good. It's Steph Curry. Steph Curry's a superstar. LeBron's team is not really all that good either, record-wise. But LeBron, say what you say about him, he's a superstar and people are going to vote for him. And Anthony Davis is on the All-Star game, but Anthony Davis has been balling out and has been doing better than Trae Young. But congratulations to him. He finally got his wish. So we don't have to hear all this complaining about why he didn't get in there. There's been so many players in the past that I thought, or other people have thought, should have been in the All-Star game, but didn't get picked. Even when their team is winning, too. So it is what it is. I think one year, it might have been the 2014-15 Bucks. And that season, they basically came out of nowhere. They ended up going to the playoffs. They had a very young Giannis. He wasn't even the focal point of the team yet. A very young Chris Middleton. I think they might have had, I think they did have Jabari Parker, but I think he got hurt with that ACL. But the player that made that team kind of move a little bit was Brandon Knight for the time he was on there. And he was actually putting out good numbers. Leading to Milwaukee, they was like 10 games above 500 at the time of the All-Star game, but he didn't get picked up. They picked up reserves like Dwayne Wade, Jeff Teague, and Kyle Korver that year. So it is what it is sometimes. This does remind me, I get back to do my part 2 of one-time NBA All-Stars randomly. So, like I said, congratulations to Trae Young. The last topic I want to talk about is a lesser topic regarding the Milwaukee Bucks. Now, tonight, they play the Phoenix Suns. And I wanted to go watch that game, but after what I saw in Utah, the body language, the way they lost the game against Utah, I just didn't want to. I didn't feel like spending $62, $68 to go watch them play. I'm sorry. So much for that field trip, because they do play the Phoenix Suns. Now, there's been rumors of Bobby Portis being up for a trade. They got, I think, 2 more days. All teams got 2 more days to figure out what they're going to do with their players. They're going to trade somebody. Bobby Porter's for Grant Williams. I don't know. Let me look at Grant Williams' numbers right quick. Grant Williams' numbers right quick. Because I think Grant Williams is a little bit younger than Bobby Portis. And the Mavericks beat the 76ers last night. He's 25 years old. He'd be 26. Dang, he's making $53 million. But he'll be 26, 6'6". The last few games against the 76ers, he scored 14 points, 3 for 5, 7 rebounds, 2 assists. Against the Bucks, 2 points. Against Minnesota, 2 points. I don't know how I feel about it. He's a little bit younger than Bobby Portis. It says, according to trade rumors, NBA insider Mark Stein, the Mavericks are now linked to the Milwaukee Bucks as the two teams have reportedly discussed a trade that will swap Grant Williams for Bobby Portis Jr. The Bucks and Mavericks lead sources say have been on discussions on a trade that will swap Bobby Portis and newcomer Grant Williams. It's not known yet if the talks will progress to something more serious. His first season in Dallas, Williams' first season in Dallas, has been undeniably disappointing, but his ability to guard a variety of players is said to intrigue Milwaukee, which is known to be searching for defensive upgrades. Now, I do say this, when he was on Boston, he wasn't that bad on defense. To say Williams has been a disappointment during his first year in Dallas will be an understatement. The 6'6" is averaging 8.1 points, 3.5 rebounds while shooting a career low 41% from the field. Over the last 25 games, Williams is shooting 37.7% from the field, 30% from deep. Money-wise, Williams and Portis make nearly the same amount of money annually, around $13 million. But Williams' deal goes to 26-27 season, while Bobby Portis is going through 25 to 26. Portis is averaging 12.6, 6.9 rebounds for the Bucks while shooting 50% overall and 30% from deep. So, and it gets slightly younger. Offensive wise, they probably get a little bit worse, but defensive wise, probably better, I think. And Dame is injured. Wow. I don't know how he injured his ankle. I think he injured his ankle off a dunk against Utah. They actually might win the game now. The battle of no non-defensive teams. Where are they practicing that? Sorry to go off basis. What are they doing that? Notre Dame Prep Athletics. Scottsdale. Oh, that's where they shooting around at up there. But anyways, the last thing I want to talk about. It should have been the first day before this Grant Williams thing. I don't know how that's going to turn out for the Grant Williams, Bobby Portis. I don't know. My thoughts on the Bucks right now are not good. But the last thing I want to talk about is this whole MVP race. Particularly, I saw things. Shout out to both Ticket TV and Dreamers Pro. I wouldn't say they got gotten into it, but Dreamers Pro thinks Kawhi is the MVP. Ticket thinks Shea Gilgeous-Alexander is the MVP. Now, both of their teams, I think the Thunder are number one in the West now, and I think the Clippers are sniffing at the feet of being number one in the West. I will say this. Both of them have been balling this year. Kawhi, I think, only missed one game so far this year. But here's the difference between the two. Shea, if you look at Shea's team right now, there's no all-stars on that team. Not one. No one. capable of an all-star right now. Maybe down the line, Chet Holmgren, but not right now. And they're number one in the West. While Kawhi has James Harden, Westbrook, and Paul George. And Paul George is an all-star this year. So those are something to think about when it comes to that. To me, I really can't pick between the one because I think they both deserving. Uh, but if I really had to, if I was at the voting box or however how they vote for this, I would just had to pick Shea just due to the personnel that they have and how they're number one seed. It's no disrespect to Kawhi Leonard. The Kawhi Leonard, I was wanting to see this out of Kawhi Leonard. Because I know I made some videos of past berating Kawhi Leonard for, not playing and all this load management. But when he is healthy, he ain't the next coming to Jordan, but when he is healthy, he is a difference maker, a big difference maker for a team. And shoot, if not the Bucks, which I don't think they're gonna even get sniffed the finals this year, I think the Clippers can sniff the finals, and I've been saying this for the last couple of seasons now. They should be able to be in the finals this year. Hopefully, no injuries partake with Kawhi Leonard or even Paul George, because there are two injury-prone people on this team. If they're able to keep this up and copy this and going into the playoffs, I guarantee they'll be NBA champions this season. And therefore, Westbrook and Paul George will get their first rings. And yes, James Harden too. I can't be mad at James Harden no more. He's actually been balling. No antics anymore. He's just been straight hooping. You haven't heard anything out of him since then. So I got to give it up for James Harden. I really do. It doesn't even hurt to say it no more, like it did a couple of days ago, because they've been winning. They've been winning. I think they went on that East Coast road trip recently and lost one game. That was against Cleveland. And they beat Atlanta last night. I know Atlanta's nothing to be squawk over. They beat Miami. Like I said, they did lose a close game to Cleveland. They ransacked Washington and Detroit. So I forgot who else they played on that schedule. But they winning. Bucks would have played one of those teams. They probably would have lost to the Hawks and Cleveland and to Washington. And, well, maybe not Detroit. They got their hand on Detroit. But anyways, when it comes down to this whole MVP race, it's probably Shea, Kawhi, Jokic at one point in time, even though I think his numbers are empty, Embiid, but he's done. So he ain't going to matter anymore. I think those are the three top candidates for MVP. Maybe a dark horse MVP, Anthony Edwards. We'll know. We'll see what happens. But anyways, I think this concludes the show for today. But anyways, tell me what you guys think about my thoughts. Write them down in the comment section below. Like, share, subscribe. If you haven't done so already. Haters too, they're welcome. Sometimes. Depends how cordial they keep things. And as I always say, I'm not opposed to opposing thoughts, but when you're going to get nasty with it, and not even just nasty, when you just, let's say this, the trolling, because I've been starting to see this a lot lately, saying Michael Jordan and wasn't good and all this overrated stuff and all this stuff. I don't know, when I hear stuff like that, I see stuff like that, I don't know about y'all, man. I don't know if y'all are playing or not. But if y'all for real about when these guys say that, please, save the embarrassment. Save those thoughts to yourself. I understand. Especially when it comes to trying to compare it to LeBron. It's like, come on now, stop being delusional. Now, if you want to compare Jordan to Kareem or Wilt or anybody else, then fine. But comparing it to the players that are playing now, come on now. No one playing right now can hold Michael Jordan's jockstrap. I'm sorry. It's just the way it is. The ultimate competitor. on both sides of the ball, and they keep trying to bring up that he quit in 93 and quit in 90. It's like, stop it. Please stop it. Because when he came back from that brief retirement in 93, and to come back in 95, he won 3 more. Nobody else won. I don't know why these LeBron stands can get that. But I don't know if it's delusional or trolling. But anyways, peace out, y'all.